Okay, Pauline, look at you, 72 years young,
72 years young,
living your best life,
living it.
inside and out, full of energy, full of strength, huge fitness influencer, full of purpose, full of passion, and just where we need to be in our 70s, thriving.
Thank you.
Which is not what's happening with most people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond these days. So we're here to learn how to be like this.
My pleasure. But I don't understand why. I don't understand why, because this is such a perfect time to be alive. You have all of this information at your fingertips. I don't understand why not. So, but thanks to you, thanks to your podcast and what you do, and, just getting the information out there and letting people know that you don't have to have a difficult life.
Yeah.
You can be energetic, you can move your body, you can eat well, you can enjoy, you can embrace life.
And what health habits or what habits have resulted in you being this person full of health today at 72 versus if you hadn't taken on those habits? Like, what are the secrets here?
Well, watching my parents' generation, looking and observing them, and not even realizing that I was observing them at the age of 8 and 10 years old, not realizing that I would see them smoke cigarettes, Marlboro cigarettes, and drink Johnny Walker Black. And, that was the way that they were socializing with one another. But then I saw, like, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, I saw the diabetes come in. I saw the open heart surgery come in. I saw the strokes coming in. And as a young girl, I was saying to myself, I know we all have an expiration date, but I don't want to go out like that. I want to be as healthy as I possibly can. Because even though my daughter-in-law is a doctor, but I'm a little anxious when I come around doctors. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure that goes well at family dinner.
I want to be on my very, very best, always. So, I just praise God for giving me that knowledge to start observing and putting some energy behind that observation, and being the best that I can possibly be.
And thank God, because if you didn't and you didn't take care of yourself, then I wonder where you'd be right now at 72, right?
That? And so many, many of my contemporaries, heart surgery, knee replacement, hip replacement. I don't want to go through that.
No, so many people I know in their 60s and 70s suffering from cancer, needing heart transplants and things like that. And even somebody I know who I was talking to you about before we met here, who needs to get a certain heart surgery, not a heart transplant, but the cost for that $323,000, like the cost for all these things too. People think it's expensive to eat healthy, right?
You took the words right out of my mouth. $323,000 that you were telling me about your friend, a heart pump. I mean, come on, $323,000. I'm stunned. $323,000 for a heart pump or battery pump?
No, and even I know somebody else who I think she's in her 60s. She recently had cancer. And she's a close friend of somebody I'm friends with. And they said they saw the medical bills for her cancer and it was over $1 million.
This is insane.
I know. So people work their whole life. They prioritize making all kinds of money and they don't prioritize their health.
I don't understand that.
And then if you don't, look where you end up. And I'm not saying those of us who prioritize our health might not end up there. I'm not God. I don't know. Things can still happen. But why not do the best we can so we can live our whole life all the way through? Then just think, oh, nothing's going to happen to me, or ignore it.
I agree with you 100%. I am really into my health, because if you don't have your health, you are up a creek. And I say that to say I had a friend, and unfortunately she passed away, but we used to we used to go out. We used to dance. We used to have a good time together. And I remember one time I said to her, I said, well, look, I'm going to the grocery store and I'm going to pick up some organic blueberries and some organic apples and organic grapes. And she said, well, how much are the organic blueberries? Because I want some of those too. And I said, well, they're probably like $5.99. Oh, no, they're too expensive. Just give me the regular ones. I'm saying, but do you know what the regular ones, do you know the pesticides that the regular ones have on them? Oh, blueberries are blueberries. I'll take that. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, people just don't care out there. We need to just get people caring. And yeah, who knows what those pesticides do to us?
We know what they do to us. They jack up our whole system. You know, it's so important to be an educated consumer about your health. And as I said earlier, this is the perfect time to be alive on this timeline right here, where we have all of this information at our fingertips. So you can research what pesticides do to the body. You can research what the side effects of the medication that you are taking, what it does to your body. And some medications, like I know some people who are on high blood pressure medication, and we praise God for medication. We do.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But realize the side effects from high blood pressure medication. That medication is chipping away at the calcium on your bones. So it's not unusual for you to come down with osteoporosis at 50, 60 years old. And at 70 years old, your spine is so out of whack from the medication that you're all bent over. It does not have to be like that. You know, that's what I'm trying to broadcast to the world. Do not be a sheep. Don't do it. Don't be led. You know, praise God for doctors. I love doctors. But if the doctor says to you, well, look, you got to take X, Y, and Z.
I know.
Oh, do I really have to take X, Y, and Z? Well, let me see the alternative route that I can take so that I don't have to take X, Y, and Z. Let me give you an example. Sometimes I'm human. I have fallen off the fitness bandwagon, all right? I confessed, all right? So when I was in my 50s, I went to Spain, Barcelona. I love Barcelona.
Yeah.
I went to Spain and I went there to learn the language. And not only did I go there to learn the language, but I went there to have some fun. And oh my goodness, did I have fun. Sangria, the, Spanish food, staying out late, boom, boom, boom. So when I get back to New York, it was time for me to have my annual visit. So as I'm getting ready to go to the doctor, I'm putting on my slacks and I can't pull the slacks up to my waist. And I'm saying, what is wrong with these slacks? Surely it isn't me.
Yeah, right.
So I went to the doctor and, doctor took the test and everything and whatnot. And he sat down and he said, well, look, Pauline, I don't want to see you in a year. I don't want to see you in 6 months. I want to see you in 3 months. 3 months? He said, yes, because if you don't get your cholesterol numbers down, I'm going to have to put you on statins. And I said, oh, really? Okay. That was my wake-up call. You want to put me on statins? You want to put me on a medication where it has been proven that that thing doesn't work? That doesn't lower cholesterol?
And yeah, like maybe let's figure out what's causing the problem rather than just try to do something like that while the problem grows worse, right?
But see, in the medical industry, the medical profession, it's not about being proactive with your health. It's about what can I prescribe for you? And if I prescribe that medication, then I'll get a little kickback. I'll get a kickback, and then the pharmaceuticals company will get a kickback.
Like, it's
You know
actually
what I'm
pretty
saying?
sick, and it's a pretty crazy world out there.
It's
And
an
so we have to
insane
look out for ourselves.
world. It's all about the money.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So take care of yourself. Okay, I got ahead of myself. But in
No,
any
it's
event,
good.
when he told me that, I said, okay, all right. So I went back home and I just started getting back on the fitness bandwagon, doing what I knew that I was supposed to do. What was that? I was supposed to work out. That's number one. I was supposed to go to bed early. I was supposed to cut out the sangria. I'm not supposed to be drinking and acting the fool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to get back to my plant-based eating.
And I'm sure you feel better on that, right? Because some people think, well, that's boring. Give me the sangria. Give me the socializing with those people. Like, it must be pretty boring over there, right? But how do the lifestyles compare in your overall life?
It was wonderful within the first week that I got back on my plant-based diet. Now, you know that we live in a very divisive society right now. The carnivores against the vegetarians, the vegetarians against the vegans.
Even the vegans against the vegans. It's like, chill out.
It's insane. So I say that to say, whatever rocks your boat, whatever keeps you healthy. For me, plant-based diet, I've been this way for over 40 years, and I feel like the Duracell bunny. You know what I'm saying? I have so much energy.
At 72.
At 72, I surprise myself.
And I can tell, like, you have the energy of a 20-year-old, maybe the energy of more than the 20-year-olds have these days.
And, thank you. Some of my contemporaries, they say, Pauline, you should really take it easy, girl. You should really slow down a little bit because you might break something. And I'm telling them, that's why I exercise, to prevent myself from breaking something. I want to make sure that my balance is on point. That's why I do my squats. I want to make sure that I can lift. That's why I do my farmer's walks. You know what I'm saying? So we have everything at our disposal. We should not be sheep. Don't do it.
And if we are sheep, then it might just be too late one day. Some people think, well, if something happens, I'll get better then. But sometimes, like if there's a stroke or there's a heart attack of a certain degree or certain things happen, it's sometimes too late. Like there's been people that get diagnosed with certain types of cancers that I know, friends of mine, their moms, and within a couple months, they're just gone since the diagnosis. Like sometimes it is too late. So we have to take action now, right?
We have to take action. We have to.
And the movement, like you're saying, I've really realized lately how key exercise and movement is. Because I just moved to Miami from Toronto. And in Toronto, even though I live such a healthy lifestyle, I would have giant smoothies or healthy meals, but then just sit all day and work on my channel. Like the odd time I'd go to the gym for 20 minutes or whatever.
Right.
And I really realized since I moved to Miami and I've gotten so active, like that's awful what I was doing.
Right. Movement is so important. That's why on my IG page, I think it's on Thursday, that I introduce my audience to new exercise snacks that they can do. If you're sitting at the desk, get up every hour and do some push-ups against the wall or do some squats. Move your body. Your body needs that movement. You're doing it for the circulation. I think we have
circulation.
6,000 miles of blood vessels within ourselves. That's like you can wrap around the earth 2 times. So you don't want to just sit and let those blood vessels just come to a stop.
No.
Because when they come to a stop, that's it. It's a wrap.
Stroke or who knows. And a lot of people are getting diabetes now, like so many people. I forget the percentage. And there's a lot of people walking around with high blood sugar and they don't even know. I used to be one of these people, even on a healthy lifestyle. I did not realize until recently that I had elevated blood sugars. And if I went by a random fasting test with the doctor or my A1C, then everything is technically okay, but everything was not okay. And I only realized that when I started wearing the CGM and using this app by NutriSense, who I love and cannot recommend enough. That's when I truly realized that I had problems and I was spiking up and down to levels that totally shocked me. And now I realize that some things that I thought were great were actually doing harm to my health. So this has just taken on a whole new level of health for me. This is the best thing I have ever discovered in my life. Diabetes, there's an approximate 98 million people walking around with pre-diabetes in America and 38 million people walking around with diabetes. This is one of the biggest crises facing this country and facing the planet today. So let's all check our blood sugar and let's be more proactive about checking it, not just do a random test once a year and think that everything's okay. Because sometimes you might be like me and realize you have to check it 24/7 and get more information to realize maybe there could be a problem that could cause you problems down the line. So I can't wait to share more on this podcast, on this channel. Be sure to subscribe because there's so much coming on things to do, ways to eat, all of this, and because it was really causing me problems. So get one of these today by NutriSense. Totally changed my life, especially even since I filmed this podcast. Code GILLIANBERRY50 to save $50. Link is down below. And let's get back to this awesome podcast with Pauline. And one of the biggest ways to reduce that blood sugar is movement. So now that I track my blood sugar, I recently started doing this. I'm going to make some videos about it.
Right.
It's mind-blowing. I will check before and after working out. Every time it goes down at least 20 to 30 points minimum immediately after the workout. So think of all the people out there, whether they're eating well or they're not, their sugars might be high consistently if they're just eating and sitting. And chronic elevated blood sugars over long term can lead to many health problems like prediabetes, diabetes, the strokes, the heart attacks, a lot of the different problems that go on within the body. So the movement is so key for keeping it down.
Me something
yeah.
new.
And did you know, because I've been watching so many videos on this, so many doctors and scientists and experts and like analyzing it for myself 24/7 now, that I think they say the blood sugars rise the most between like 10 and 30 minutes after a meal.
Okay.
So if you move in those times, then you're never letting it go up and up.
I love
that
it.
It's staying in level, and it's so good for your brain, so good for the movement, so good for your brain, your happy hormones, the blood flow, like you were saying, so many things.
Right.
And like I told you earlier, I just watched a podcast with 🔂💂, and he said after studying the blue zones that it's not just like the healthy diet why they live long. It's the movement. They're all moving, right?
Movement.
So it's not just the healthy food. Like if we're not moving, we might run into trouble even on the cleanest diet.
For real. The movement is so important. Not only the movement is so important, but the company that you keep is so important. It's so important. You know, I feel so blessed because Scott, Scott, my nephew.
Scott Bernhardt.
Yes, he'll give me a call and he'll say, "Come on, Auntie, let's go to the park and work out." Now, Scott is 32 and I'm 72. But it's just so wonderful to have a nephew say, "Come on, let's go to the playground and let's work out."
Yeah.
And I'll say, "Yeah, let's get after it. Let's do it."
Yeah, because you don't want someone looking after you, right? Like I see people that need like complete care or a lot of care at this age. And I sympathize for them so much. And I personally think, oh my gosh, I can't imagine having to live that quality of life and to depend on somebody.
Absolutely. And you know what's blowing my mind? The rates, the numbers of young people, and I'll call them young, in their late 40s and 50s who are being diagnosed with dementia. Did you know that the earliest case of dementia was found last year? And a young man was only 18 years old.
Unbelievable.
And he has onset dementia. Why does he have onset dementia? Because of the diet.
The diet, a couple of things. And I've heard that that's another thing with chronic elevated blood sugar. It's very known to cause dementia and Alzheimer's. And that's so young, the things that are happening to the younger generation. But even, look at Wendy Williams. I think she's in her 50s.
Yes.
And her son just came out recently and said that her dementia, like it's really bad, right? It's alcohol induced.
Oh, no.
From heavy alcohol over the years.
I didn't know that.
So alcohol use is like, not to be like a downer and talk about all the bad things, but we have to because they're just so prevalent going on. But alcohol use can lead to that and neuropathy. It's very common to lead to alcoholism as so many things, right?
I mean, I am such a lover of life. I just feel so blessed and I am so grateful. So I don't want to pour anything over on life that will mess it up. I don't want to, a friend of mine asked me like 2 years ago, we always go out and she says, well, aren't you going to have a glass of champagne, Pauline, and celebrate the new year? Oh no, give me some cranberry juice with a slice of lime in it. I'm fine. You don't want to have a little champagne? No, no, thank you. Because I know what that little champagne is doing to the neurons in my brain. I know what's happening.
Scary, really, yeah.
It's very, very frightening.
So take us through a day. What is a day in the life for you? Like, as far as routine goes and as far as what you consume to feel like this.
Okay, a day in the life. I get up, I praise God for waking me up. And then after I do that, I do my prayers, I do my meditation, I do my affirmations, and then I put on my sneakers and my workout attire, and I start working out. Day starts around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll do my workout and everything maybe until about 9 o'clock, 9:30 on a good day. And then I'll start I do intermittent fasting. My first meal isn't until like maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow, it's a game changer, intermittent fasting for some people. Yeah.
It is for me. And so, after I do my workout and whatnot, of course, I'll have my protein shake, and that's filling. And then after I do my protein shake, then I work out with clients. Can you imagine 52, 72 years old working out with clients? Well, I have my fitness clients, so I work out with them. And then I have my other clients who are on my app, and I design workouts for them as well. So I do that. And by the time I finish all my administration work, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then that's when I'll have my biggest meal. So I eat about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then after that, I'm really not hungry. And I just slow down and get ready for the next day.
See, and I look at you and I swear to you, like, I feel like you have another 50 years.
Oh, God bless you. Oh, and you know what? I feel like a teenager. Why do you feel like a teenager? I don't know why this is not publicized, but do you know that there are over, and you can check me on this, there are over 725,000 people in this world who are over the age of 100?
No way.
725,000 people who are over the age of 100. I think they call them super agers, something like that, to that effect. So if they're like 110, 115 doing their thing, I'm only a teenager.
You might be going to
what I'm
180. And what's in your protein shake? Because people on this channel, they like the details, and this might be part of the secrets here.
I'm so glad you asked that question. And in my protein shake, I really look forward to it. So in my protein shake, I use Sun Warrior protein powder. It's a plant-based protein powder. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I use theirs sometimes too. They're great. I love them.
For real.
Yeah.
So I have Sun Warrior. I use a plant-based milk, hemp milk, unsweetened. And then I'll put a banana in there, and I love coconuts. I'll put little coconut flakes. Then I'll put some walnuts in there for my brain. And let's see, banana, walnuts, protein powder, and that's about it.
Good. The shakes are good and they're filling. They give us calories. And how do you think we can age in a way where we're open to the present and the future? We're happy about it. We're excited about it. And we're not resisting it, especially as women or men even. And we're not looking back like those are the good old days, or, oh my gosh, I should get Botox. I should get my boobs done. I don't look like that 20-year-old, or things like that. How can we just embrace it?
Number one, stay in the present. Enjoy your life. Stay in the present. Don't think about the future. Don't think about the past, because this is all that you have right now. Stay in the present. Number two, stop comparing yourselves to other people. Stop comparing yourselves to the celebrities that you see in social media or to this one or to that one. Just compare yourself to you and be the best that you can possibly be. And challenge yourself every day to get better and better and better. So what? You might be 50 pounds overweight. Tomorrow, I'm going to put on my sneakers and I'm going to exercise and I'm going to lift and I'm going to get better and better and better. Don't down yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Be careful how you talk to yourself because nobody has your ear the way you do. So be kind to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. And stay in the moment.
Probably the way we talk to ourselves, if it's constantly not in the best light or the best way, that can probably create health problems within too, right?
Can you imagine? I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and she was saying to myself, "Oh, I forgot to do this. I'm so stupid."
I know I hear people talk like that sometimes, and I'm thinking, don't say that to yourself. Don't talk like that.
For real. And I told her, I said, listen, be careful how you talk to my friend. Don't call my friend stupid. So she had to pull back and say, you're right. How we talk to ourselves is so important. And know that you can do anything that you set your mind out to do, regardless of your age or where you are in your state of life right now. Because this thing right up here, it operates the whole system. So be careful and know that you can do it. Don't doubt yourself. That spirit of doubt, that spirit of fear, just flush it down the toilet. And whenever it starts popping into your mind, I'm not going to have that today. I'm not going to have it today because I know who I am. I am divine. I'm divine. Know it. Speak to yourself. Encourage yourself. If you don't have anybody around you to encourage you, you do it.
And if somebody's out here and they're watching and they're not feeling good, they're not feeling like Pauline, they're feeling tired, maybe they have an alcohol problem, they're addicted to stimulants, or they're eating standard American diet, and they want to get from there to where you're at, or just there to like feeling good, but they have a hard time like the detox, getting off those things or getting into that routine until they feel good and have better energy. It can be difficult for people.
Very difficult.
And so they just turn back like, okay, let me have that wine because I feel like crap. How can they get through from A to B?
How they can do it? Take it one step at a time. Take it 1 minute, 5 minutes at a time, and embrace and applaud and salute the little victories that you've had. Okay, I haven't had a drink in 2 hours. Let me celebrate that. Let me celebrate that by walking around the block. You can only eat an elephant one bite at a time. So take it one step at a time and do not beat up on yourself. Things take time. Rome was not built overnight. When I went to the doctor and he told me if I didn't get myself back together, he was going to put me on statins, I said, okay. And, I took it one step at a time. And then when I went back to the doctor in 3 months, as he requested, he looked at my numbers and then he looked at me. He looked at my numbers. He looked at me. He said, what did you do? I said, oh, well, I just started exercising and then I got into my plant-based diet seriously and I just started working out.
See, and that was just 90 days. Like, think people could go to the doctor now, get all their blood drawn, get their A1C, find out what's going on, and then stick to like a clean 90 days is no time. The time goes by so fast.
Yes.
Stick to 90 days of a healthy lifestyle, movement, not eating right before bed, lowering stress, doing all these things, and then check again in 90 days, and that'll give you motivation to keep going.
Absolutely.
Eating before bed, that's another thing.
That's
too,
a no-no. Yeah. Don't eat before going to bed. because you are giving your digestive system an overload of work. You want to be kind to your digestive system. That's why for me, latest 6:30, the mouth is closed, nothing going in there. Because, when you eat like that, when you no food after 6:30, you will find that you even sleep better.
Way better, because your body doesn't just have to work on digesting the food. It's a huge difference. When I was doing intermittent fasting and eating everything before a certain window,
right,
and like stopping eating by like 3 o'clock,
right,
massive difference how you feel the next day.
Absolutely, because you will be in tune to your body. Case in point, yesterday, I woke up and I was feeling kind of sluggish, but I got through the day, and about 4:30, 5 o'clock, I said, I'm really tired. So I said, okay. I listened to my body. I said, body, what's up? Body said, I'm working too hard. I need to take a little break. I said, okay, body, I'll give you a fast for 24 hours. What fast? Body said, oh yeah, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. And I feel like $1,000,000.
Makes a big difference. Just a little reset like that too. You don't even have to be dramatic and do like a big water fast, a big dry fast, or anything crazy. Yeah.
Just do a little reset.
A little reset.
And listen to your body and be conscious of what you are putting in your mouth. Don't start eating and looking at television or looking at the screen. No. Talk to your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be present, be mindful of what you are eating, because sometimes you can have a huge plate of food and before you know it, all that food is gone because you're not mindful. It's so important.
And you're so wise and know so much. So I want to ask you, like, maybe what are 3 of the biggest things you've learned in your life about health or even just life in general? Like if you were to leave 3 major important points behind, or like 3 things that come to mind.
Well, one thing comes to mind is don't get bent out of shape. Don't stay pissed off. People will piss you off, but don't internalize it. I can't believe she said that to me. No, let it go. Let it go. So don't take it personal. Just let it go. So that's the first thing that I would think about. Number 2, just be conscious. Just be conscious of what's around you. Be not only what's around you, be conscious of your thoughts. Be conscious of how you are talking to yourself and how you are thinking, because you're not only thinking, it's not only you. Trillions of cells in your body are being tuned to every thought that you're thinking. Trillions of cells. So be careful of what you are thinking. And just do the best you can do with this life that we have, because it's so abundant, it's so beautiful, it's so wonderful. I praise God that I'm on this timeline of 2025. Can you imagine? I mean, like in maybe 5, 6 years from now, we're going to have robots walking around here serving us water and whatnot.
I know. You already see them on the streets.
Yeah.
Delivering food. I'm like, who is this guy? What is he doing on wheels?
For
with
real.
Food behind him.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a crazy, 20 years. Who knows what's going to happen?
I'm telling you, it's a wonderful time to be alive.
It really is. With all the information at our fingertips, it really is.
Absolutely. So enjoy it, embrace it.
And I'm wondering, do you have role models or people you look up to or mentors that you would credit to getting you where you are or that inspire you?
Yes. My children, my 2 sons, Matthew and John, and my grandchildren. They inspire me. They motivate me. I have 6 grandchildren, ages 4 to 11 this year. So I want to be around when they get married. I want to dance with my grandchildren when they get married. God forbid, I don't want to be wheeled into the wedding party. No, I want to be jumping up and down, you know what I'm saying, and having a good time. So they motivate me. That's my motivation right there.
Mm.
My children.
Beautiful. And you seem very spiritual. So I think you
Definitely.
I think you believe in God, or you feel...
without question, I do. And his praises stay on my lips forever and ever.
So for those of us who maybe want to connect more to God, but feel like blockage is up, or we don't know how to find the answers sometimes, like, any advice for how you connect to God, or, find the right answer to some questions you might have in your life, or which path to take, or what to do next?
Well, I've been very, very blessed because I'm standing on the shoulders of prayer warriors. So prayer, faith, God has always been in my life. So even when I was crazy in my youth, as all of us were, I would have talks with him, and he would pull me back on track. So if you don't have that, or you can step outside, you can look at nature, you can look at the abundance all around you, you can look up at the sky and see the stars and say, oh my God, how wonderful. So get in tune to nature.
I love that. Beautiful. Well, you're amazing. I could talk to you all day.
Right back at you. Thank you so much for this opportunity, just to share my passion for life, for fitness, for health. Thank you for allowing me to share this platform with you. And, I salute you. This is wonderful, wonderful work that you're doing.
Well, thanks to amazing people like you. And it sounds like, to me, like after learning more about the blue zones recently, it sounds like you're really, maybe without realizing it or realizing it, doing almost everything that they do in these categories, which is what they say helps them live the long life. The movement, the eating well, the community, having a sense of community, they say is so important too, not just being out there on our own. Like, you have good friends, you're training people, you have your kids, and having a purpose.
Yes,
that's important. Because if you didn't have that and have your purpose at 72, even though you'd be healthy and everything, like lacking in one of these areas, then you might not be feeling this vibrant and healthy, right?
I would not. I would not, because I have seen it. I have seen people that once they retire from their jobs, or once they retire from life, they don't have a reason to wake up in the morning. And they're very, very depressed behind that. So I just praise God. I praise God that, I have a reason to wake up.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And lastly, okay, any advice for somebody watching when they leave this video, instead of making like a poor food choice, maybe go to a fast food restaurant, or hit up Jimmy's alcohol or a drug or something that just gives them a high, but it does not benefit their body or mind. Any advice to help them leave this video and make a better choice instead? Make a green juice, pick up an apple, pick up some real foods.
First thing that comes to mind is look in the mirror and realize and see the beautiful machine that you are. You are a walking, talking, beautiful machine, and the gift that you have to talk, to use your tongue, to use your fingers, your feet. Don't take that for granted. That's number one. Realize this wonderful temple that you are, that your spirit is in. And what you're looking at right now is a 1952 classic. That's when I made my debut into the world in 1952. So label the classic that you are. It could be a 1962, 82, 92 classic, and treat it like that. You see how men love their cars and everything. And, Saturday they rubbing their car down and whatnot, rubbing the tires. Do that for yourself. Do that for yourself. Rub your belly with good food. Rub your mind with clean material. Let everything enter your mind that's clean. And anything that's negative, turn it off, because it will affect you in ways that you can't even imagine. So be careful what you listen to, and look in the mirror and realize the divine individual that you are, and take care of it.
And probably also like not being a people pleaser, right? Saying yes to only things that feel in alignment, feel right, and saying no when you need to and surrounding yourself with those right people who only make you feel good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And recognize, on the same thought that you were just mentioning, recognize the people that you surround yourself with. If you're with somebody and you're feeling very anxious or angry, that's the sign. Our body gives us so many clues. Listen to your body. If your body is saying, that energy over there is something about that person, I can't put my finger on it, but it doesn't feel right. Believe your body. Believe what your body is telling you.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. You don't need to make sense of it in your head, right?
For real. Believe your intuition. It's a gift from God.
Mhm.
Trust it.
I love that. And okay, favorite book?
Oh, so many. So many. Have you ever heard of this book, Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes?
No.
I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Another book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
So good.
Love it.
I forget who is the author on that. That's a very old school classic.
That's
right?
an old book.
I read that when I lived in Costa Rica. I remember just being like, this is the best book I've ever read. I have to read that again. Yeah.
The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Joseph Murphy.
That's right. I just got goosebumps. That book is so good. Go read that book, you guys. It is so good.
It's excellent.
So Matt's amazing behind the camera, and he has a great question to end off with, which the viewers will want to know this too. So we'll let him ask that, and then if you can answer.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey there.
Oh, hey, glad to be here. So I'm curious because you've obviously have been taking care of your health a lot, and you've been doing this for years now. And you talked about your experience as a child where you were looking at members of your family and seeing how the effects of their behavior was affecting their health long term or even short term.
Right.
And I'm curious about when you started making these active decisions for your own health and how long that journey has been happening for you, if there's anything that caused that decision and change to make you focus more on that health, or if you just kind of fell into it, and what people can do to find their own motivation to do this, or what are the first steps they can do to help get the ball rolling?
Okay, there are two very important things that happen in my life. Number one, I had a family member, and I saw her going through domestic violence. I saw her husband beating her up. I saw after her husband beat her up, the broken arms that she would have. All right. And this is at 8 and 9 years old. So at that early age, I made a mental note. That's never, ever going to happen to me. I will never let anybody do that to me at 8 or 9 years old. And then the health thing, my mother had a very, very close friend, and she was a fabulous baker. I mean, she would make sweet potato pies, she would make coconut cakes, and she was a smoker. So it would be nothing for her to start baking a sweet potato pie at 8 o'clock at night, and then 9:30, she's taking it out the oven, and she's slicing the pie up, and she's eating a whole pie by herself. And after she finishes eating the pie, she smokes a cigarette, and then she goes to bed. So I'm seeing this at 8 and 10 years old, and I'm seeing the weight that this woman is carrying. And I'm saying to myself, something is not right. And if God gives me 40, 50 years old, I'm not going to go out like that. I'm not going to go out. And, sadly, she passed away. I think she was like 59 or something like that. And then seeing, other friends of my parents get amputations, their toes and their fingers and their hand. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. So you see these little things in life, and you say, you just start to make a commitment to yourself. I'm not going to go out like that. We all have an expiration date. But I want to have quality of life as I walk through this, as I have my earthly journey here. I want to have quality. And seeing those individuals that I spoke about, they didn't have it. They had to get stuck because they had diabetes. They had to take the insulin. And these were lifestyles that they had that it could have prevented them. They could have turned the corner. They could have done something completely different. Instead of baking a sweet potato pie at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, you should be in bed. Instead of smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, you could be taking a walk. You could be exercising. So, bless those individuals, because it was those individuals who sharpened my focus as to how I wanted to walk through this wonderful thing called life.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I answered your question, Matt.
You did. I'll expand on that in a second, but I want to ask, say you didn't live this healthy life and you were having some of those bad health problems, and say you had diabetes now, because I know it's such a big problem, right?
Yes.
But now, knowing what you know, what action plan would you take to reverse it? Since it's such a big thing going on, what would you do? What would be your do's and don'ts? And this is going to be my plan to reverse this for you personally.
Jillian, as I said earlier, this is such a wonderful time to be alive, because you have free information at your fingertips. Your podcast, very, very helpful. The doctors have their own podcasts.
Yeah.
Chiropractors have their own podcasts. There's so many different avenues that you can go to start investigating the information that you need. Oh, I'm a diabetic. And I've heard so many times, to be a diabetic, you can overcome that. You can turn that thing around. You can turn it around by eating healthy and changing your diet and moving your body. The information is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a sheep.
Yeah. So then you got inspired when you were young through all these experiences. And did that sort of just keep you on track all the way through? Or did you fall off and then you got into it in your 30s or 40s?
As I said, in my 20s, I was very, very healthy. In my 30s, I was extremely healthy. 40, healthy. 50, fell off the bandwagon a little bit. That's when I went to Spain.
That's right.
And had a good time. But then when I came back to the States...
But see, it wasn't such a bad thing then, because some people might think, oh no, I just got bad results. I'm going through a bad time right now. I'm not feeling good. But then sometimes it takes that low, like what happened to you after Spain, to now skyrocket you to where you are and where you need to really be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. So don't look at a bad diagnosis as something that's bad. It could be a gift, because it could open your eyes up to what you have to do. And again, the information is right at your fingertips. Be an educated consumer of your health and your fitness and your mental health as well.
Yeah, because that's important.
That's so important.
Yeah, very important.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're bringing you back. This has been great.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Yeah, thank you for your wisdom and for your energy and just for being you.
Thank you.
Keep it up. I can't wait to see where you are at 82, 92. We'll have you on at 100.
I love that. I love what you just said. You know why I loved what you just said? Because I don't know too many fitness influencers in their 70s. As a matter of fact, I only know one. And I've seen her on Instagram. Her name is Joan McDonald. She's out of Canada.
Is she blonde or no? No, I don't know. I don't know. You're right, though. I can't think of many.
Joan McDonald.
Yeah.
I think Joan is 72, and she's into fitness as well. But my dream, my prayer is that people like you in your 40s, even in their 30s, where you can say, well, gee whiz, if she can get after it at 70, if she can be, then I can do it too. And then when you become 70, I'll be 100.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, oh, that was my motivator.
It is.
And then I'll be at 100 and I'll be pumping.
Yeah.
And I'll see 70 isn't old.
No, you're right. That's the greatest motivator. Because it's like, do you know Chef Babette or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So we interviewed her in LA this last year and we did a fitness video too.
You did.
And this is before I started to get into fitness at all. And she could do like 100 or 200 push-ups. I forget how many. And then I started doing them. I'm like, okay, I can't do any push-ups here. And here is Chef Babette at 70 something. Like
70. I think she's 70.
Person run around. So like, come on, we got to step it up. There's no excuse.
It's no excuse. Chef Babette
no
is
more excuses.
Gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Out of this world.
I mean, my contemporary at 73.
Yeah. So there's no excuses. And we need to take ownership, take accountability for where we are. Because maybe, not everything, but a lot of the stuff, a lot of the things that might be going on with us are a result of our choices, right? So
100% of them are.
Acknowledge that and take ownership, even for the things we don't like.
Absolutely.
Instead of blaming the doctor or blaming the job or blaming the government or blaming, I'm traveling, I can't eat healthy. Take accountability, and that's when the change starts.
Take accountability. You're traveling. Pack your own snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat the garbage that's at the airport.
It's all the food. I was just at the airport. I don't even know what they're called. These like folded bread things with sausage in between and then bags of chips. There's like no food. And everyone's just sitting around like eating junk food, overweight, feeling like crap. I can tell. And I'm just like doing laps in the airport because when you're waiting for a plane, why not get your steps in and just walk?
You are absolutely, I'm so glad we're having this conversation because sometimes I say to myself, when I fly back and forth to San Diego to visit my son, I'm saying, and I'm looking at what's going on at the airport. And Jillian, I feel like an alien.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm from outer space.
Me too. Me too. I get it. I'm here with my blueberries. People are looking at me like I'm nuts. Why are you eating a whole thing of blueberries?
For
like
real.
You're cutting up an apple at the airport.
It's crazy.
Get your head checked. I'm like, goodness.
So what I want to tell your audience, be different. Be different. Be unique. Don't be like the rest of the people around you.
Yeah.
Be different.
Yeah. Well said.
And when you're different, you're going to stand out.
Yeah. It's more fun. It's more interesting.
For
be
real.
yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And again, where can everybody find you?
You can find me, Pauline Adeleke, on Instagram, Ageless Fitness Lifestyle, on YouTube, agelessfitnesslifestyle.com. If you want to get on my app and you want to work out with me and you want some nutritious, delicious meals, you can find me there. Well,
get on the app. Let's start doing what you're doing. I'm joining the app after this. I'm going to copy your routine and we'll have you back. So be sure to subscribe for that. I'll put all your information down below.
Great.
And we love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got inspired and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.